Mm-hmm. All right. So we're going to get this done. We're going to get this done. We're going to get this done because I gave my word. And it's 10 p.m. And I would like to get this done before tomorrow. Because tomorrow, I've got another big doc drop in the other case. So I'm going to finish where I left off. I want to say I left off on G. Yep. So I left off on G. We finna get it. I'm finna go through this. Whether y'all are in here or not, at least I have kept my word and we have finished the fourth document. Okay? So we'll have a little bathtub live. So G is in good, the V Live Houston shooting. I think we did cover that. But let's go back over it. Law enforcement testimony showing that the decedent Melvin Noble and his associates were ambushed by associates of co-conspirator Moore's CME record label on September 19, 2020, a week or so after co-conspirator Moore was shot in the leg. This evidence proves prior ill will and hostilities between the parties, is contextual evidence, and is material to prove conspiracy, including co-conspirator Moore's motive and intent to carry out the charged offense. Defendant's Ava Center performance. State witness testimony and exhibits showing that defendant Conway and the alleged shooter, Cutting Kiwanika White, a.k.a. Blanzo Bling, hereinafter referred to in this document as the shooter. They performed together at the Ava Center on October 31st, Halloween, in the year of 2020, just 11 days before the assassination of Mo 3. This evidence is not an extraneous offense or bad act committed by defendant Conway and therefore not subject to Rule 404, subsection B. This evidence is, however, material to prove identity and the relationship between defendant Conway and the shooter. This next session is titled Defendant's Media Interviews. The first one, A, is the Breakfast Club interview. Video exhibit of defendant Conway's voluntary admissions on the Breakfast Club Power 105.1 on November 7, 2018. This evidence is not an extraneous offense or bad act committed by Conway and therefore not subject to Rule 404, subsection B. Defendant Marquise, DeAndre, GRC, Yellow Beezy, Big Crip Conway. Admissions are evidence of prior ill will, proven context regarding his shooting and the feud, prove motive and intent, and corroborate other witness testimony concerning the shooting of Pate. They're not even talking about Mo 3, they're talking about Roy Lee. B, the Beat 97.9 interview. Video exhibit of defendant Marquise, DeAndre, GRC, Yellow Beezy, Big Crip Conway. Voluntary admissions on 97.9 The Beat on November 16th, 2018. Man, listen, Petty Betty, girl. At this point, I'm seriously wondering, how did Trap not get indicted if this is what they're saying? This evidence is not an extraneous offense or bad act committed by the defendant and therefore not subject to Rule 404, subsection B. Defendant Marquise, DeAndre, GRC, Yellow Beezy, Big Crip Conway. Admissions are evidence of prior ill will, provide context regarding his shooting and the feud, prove motive and intent, and corroborate with other witness testimony concerning, again, Roy Lee Pate's shooting. Hi, Kim. So far, we done A, we did B, we did, and now we're on C, the Vlad TV interview. So far, interviews A and B ended talking about the shooting and murder of Roy Lee Pate. C, Vlad TV interview. Video exhibit excerpts of defendant Conway's voluntary admissions on Vlad TV on August 7, 2019. This evidence is not an extraneous offense or bad act committed by the defendant, therefore not subject to Rule 404, subsection B. The defendant, Marquise DeAndre, GRC, Yellow Beezy, Big Crip Conway. Admissions are evidence of prior ill will, provide context regarding his state of mind and belief regarding reprisal, prove motive and intent, and corroborate other witness testimony, again concerning Roy Lee Pate's shooting. Decedent's media interviews. A, Cam Capone interview. Video excerpts of Mo 3's statement on the Cam Capone show on April 6, 2019. This evidence is not an extraneous offense or bad acts committed by defendant Marquise DeAndre, GRC, Yellow Beezy, Big Crip Conway, and therefore not subject to Rule 404, subsection B. These statements prove ill will and prior hostilities between the parties, provide context regarding the decedent's acknowledgement and fear of having a bounty on his head, and the effect Pate's death had on him. Next section, defendant's social media post. A, defendant Marquise DeAndre, GRC, Yellow Beezy, Big Crip Conway. Instagram live post from July 28, 2019. Instagram live social media post discussing the incident at the Unruly Citizens concert. These statements are party admissions that prove ill will and prior hostilities between the children, are contextual evidence of the feud and prove Conway's motive for the murder. Defendant Conway's Instagram live post the day of Mo 3's assassination. Video exhibit of Yellow Beezy Conway on November 11, 2020, Instagram live social media post. It's State Exhibit 1074. The video exhibit proves ill will and prior hostilities between parties, is contextual evidence of the feud, and prove defendant Marquise DeAndre, GRC, Yellow Beezy, Big Crip Conway, motive and state of mind near the time of the murder. Defendant Conway's Instagram live post call. Video exhibit of the defendant Conway on December 15, 2020. Instagram live social media post regarding a call from co-conspirator Devarius, Trap Boy Freddie Moore, playing Laugh Now for defendant Conway in State's Exhibit 1076. The exhibit contains both party admissions and statements made by a conspirator during and in furtherance of a conspiracy. Is this a state RICO? Is that in furtherance of a conspiracy by co-conspirators? That's state organized crime talk. Because they, anyway. Yes, good evening, Kimberly. Good evening. The exhibit, like I said, contains both party admissions and statements made by a conspirator during and in furtherance of a conspiracy. The video exhibits prove ill will and prior hostilities between the parties, is contextual evidence regarding the feud and conspiracy, and proves their motives and states of mind, including the defendant's consciousness of guilt. The next section, decedent's social media posts. Decedent Melvin Abdul Mothri Noble Jr. Instagram live post after unruly citizens concert. Video exhibit of the decedent's July 28, 2019 Instagram live social media post discussing the incident at the unruly citizens concert. States exhibit 1027. This evidence is not an extraneous offense or bad act committed by Yellow Beezy, and therefore not subject to Rule 404B. These statements prove ill will and prior hostilities between the parties and are contextual evidence of the feud. B. Decedent's Instagram live post after the rainwater assault. Video exhibit of the decedent's February 4th, 2020 Instagram live social media post discussing the assault on Brandon Sibley Rainwater by defendant Marquise DeAndre GRC Yellowbeezy Big Crip Conway in States Exhibit 11 1 So Rainwater and Yellowbeezy's exhibit for the state is numbered 1111. Cookie. These statements prove ill will and prior hostilities between the parties and are contextual evidence of the feud. Co-conspirators' social media post is the next section. A. Co-conspirator Devarius Trap Boy Freddie Moore's Instagram post day of the murder. Video and photographic exhibits of co-conspirator Trap Boy Freddie Instagram social media posts on the day of the murder as he drove by the murder scene. States Exhibit 1065 through 1070. These are statements made by a co-conspirator made during and in furtherance of conspiracy and is evidence proving conspiracy with defendant Marquise DeAndre GRC Yellowbeezy Big Crip Conway. Motive, intent, and state of mind of co-conspirator Trap Boy Freddie at the time and location of the assassination. Next section, Mo3's music release. A. 219. Video exhibit of the decedent's music video recording titled 219, released on February 21st, 2019. States exhibits 1022. Hoo-wee. Hey, that's Yellowbee's birthday. And 1023. This evidence is not an extraneous offense or bad act committed by defendant Marquise DeAndre GRC Yellowbeezy Big Crip Conway, and therefore not subject to Rule 404 subsection B. The state seeks to admit the music video in its entirety as evidence that proves prior ill will and hostilities between the parties is inextricably intertwined with the charges and is central to the state's theory of motive for the murder for remuneration. Next section, defendant's music releases. A. Hitters. Audio exhibit excerpt of defendant Marquise DeAndre GRC Yellowbeezy Big Crip Conway July 19th, 2019 music video recording titled Hitters. States Exhibit 1113 and 1114. The lyrics starting at 1 minute and 6 seconds, going until 2 minutes and 54 seconds, are party admissions that are inextricably intertwined with the charges, prove retaliatory motive, and marks the first song where defendant Conway references paying a bounty to have someone killed. B. Keep it in the streets. Video exhibit of defendant Yalabize, February 25th, 2020. Around the same time, the head of GRC, side note, was selling dope to the undercover right before they decided to take the undercovers to old Ray Jackson. Yeah, this was all the same time. Keep it in the street. States Exhibit 1031, Halloween, and 1032, Day of the Dead. The state seeks to admit the music video in its entirety as evidence of prior ill will and hostilities between the parties, contextual evidence, and retaliatory motive. C. On your head. Audio exhibit of defendant Marquise DeAndre, GRC, Yalabize, Big Crip Conway's May 8, 2020 music audio recording titled On Your Head, which featured co-conspirator Trap Boy Freddy in States Exhibits 1033 and 1034. The lyrics performed by DeAndre, GRC Big Crip Conway. Are a party admission. There I go. The lyrics performed by co-conspirator Trap Boy Freddy are statements made by a co-conspirator made during and in furtherance of the conspiracy and are adopted by defendant Yellow Beezy Conway by production and release of the music track. So they said he agrees to everything said because he produced and released the track. The state seeks to admit the audio recording in its entirety as evidence that directly speaks to the charged offense, proves prior ill will and hostilities between the parties, conspiracy between defendant Yellow Beezy and co-conspirator Trap Boy Freddy, and their motive and intent. So that's On Your Head by Trap and Yellow. They will be playing the entirety of that. And what was the other one? It was one by Mo3. Yep. 219. So 219 and On Your Head will be played in its entireties during trial. D. Take 3. Audio exhibit of defendant Marquise DeAndre, GRC, Yellow Beezy, Big Crip Conway's never before commercially released music audio recording titled Take 3, which was discovered in a text message sent by defendant Marquise GRC Big Crip Conway to an indicted co-conspirator hours after the assassination. Question for y'all listening and for those who watch the replay. Who do you think the indicted co-conspirator was? Was it Keywan? Was it Devin? Or was it Jerry Lynn? Anyway, that will be found in States Exhibit 1071 through 1073. The state seeks to admit the audio recording, here's another one, in its entirety as evidence that directly speaks to the charged offense and proves prior ill will, hostility, motive, and intent. E. Gassed up. Audio exhibit for Yellow Beezy Marquis GRC, Big Crip Conway. Never before. Hey there, Kim. How you doing? Never before commercially released music audio recording titled Gassed Up, which was discovered in a text message sent by Yellow GRC Beezy to an indicted conspirator on November 30th, 2020. Beezy, who you sent that to? States Exhibits 1071, 1081 through 1084. The state seeks to admit the music video in its entirety as evidence that directly speaks to the charged offense and proves prior ill will, hostility, motive, and intent. So, listen, they gonna have a concert at the courthouse. Because what we had, like 5 songs that's gonna be played in their entirety. The next section is entitled Co-Conspirators Music Releases. A. Hypocrite. Video exhibit of co-conspirator Trap Boy Freddy music video recording titled Hypocrite, released on the 7th day of the Aquarius in the year of 2021. States Exhibit 1097 through 1098. The lyrics are statements made by a co-conspirator made during and in furtherance of the conspiracy and are evidence that directly speaks to the charged offense and proves prior ill will and hostilities between the parties, conspiracy between Conway and Trap Boy Freddy, and their motive and intent. B. Laugh Now. Video exhibit of co-conspirator Trap Boy Freddy music video recording titled Laugh Now, released on March 4th, 2021, States Exhibit 1104 through 1105. The lyrics are statements made by a co-conspirator made during and in furtherance of the conspiracy and are evidence that directly speaks to the charged offense and proves prior ill will and hostilities between the parties, conspiracy between defendant Conway and co-conspirator Trap Boy Freddy, and their motive and intent. C. Shirt. Of course there would be there. Audio exhibit of co-conspirator Trap Boy Freddy music audio recording titled Shirt, released on August 5th, 2021. States Exhibit 1107 through 1108. The lyrics are statements made by a co-conspirator made during and in furtherance of the conspiracy and are evidence that directly speaks to the charged offense and proves prior ill will and hostilities between the parties. Conspiracy between defendant Marquis DeAndre, GRC, Yellow Beezy, Big Crip Conway, and co-conspirator Devarius, Trap Boy Freddy Moore, and their motive and intent. Photographic evidence from co-conspirators and other associates' music releases. A. Harder Than Yours. So they say they have exhibits from Yellow and Bodega music video titled Harder Than Yours. States Exhibits 1036 through 1040. This evidence is not an extraneous offense or bad act committed by defendant Conway and therefore not subject to Rule 404, subsection B. The photographic exhibits serve to corroborate state witness testimony regarding the association between get-rich cartel members and depicts a known GRC trap house where the shooter's vehicle was stored, where the shooter returned after the murder, and where evidence of the murder was destroyed. Whose house was that? They say that what Harder Than Yours is Will Kiwanika, because that's who they claiming is the shooter. They said they was going to refer to him here and thereafter as the shooter. They say that's where his car was parked and where he came back to after the murder. We're going to have to go watch Harder Than Yours and see what traps we can see. Shit. B. First Day Out. So they have photographic exhibits from the shooter's music video recording titled First Day Out. This evidence is not an extraneous offense or bad act committed by defendant Conway and therefore not subject to Rule 404, subsection B. The photographic exhibits serve to corroborate state witness testimony regarding the association between GRC members and depicts another known GRC trap house on Britain. Okay. Okay. We know the address to the Britain one, right? And the shooter welding the alleged murder weapon. Yeah. So on first day out, we need to go look and see this house on Britain. They say that's where the shooter came to after he committed the assassination on I-35. I would like to see how far that Britain address is from the incident of the assassination. C is Toolonia. Photographic and video exhibit from or related to Bodego's music video recording titled Tool on You, which featured Conway. Okay. This exhibit serves to corroborate state witness testimony regarding defendant Conway's association with GRC members and that the shooter participated in and was initially included in the music video but was subsequently cut from the final edit after his indictment, demonstrating consciousness of guilt. D. The first. Photographic exhibits from the shooter's music video, The First, which featured Bodega. This evidence is not an extraneous offense committed by defendant Conway and therefore not subject to Rule 404, subsection B. The exhibits serve to corroborate state witness testimony regarding the association between GRC members and the shooter. For the reasons described below, this court should deny defendant Marquise DeAndre GRC Yellowbeezy Big Crip Conway's amended motion in lineman so that the state of Texas may admit the above listed evidence integral to core issues of the state's case and present a coherent story to the jury regarding a North Texas rap music feud that ended with midday execution of Dallas rapper on a Dallas highway. Argument and authority. Defendant DeAndre, the Conway man, in his amended motion in lineman contends that the evidence listed in the narrow timeline Appendix A provided by the state fails to meet any of the exceptions under Rule 404, subsections B and subsection 2. And alternatively, if any of the evidence does not meet one of those exceptions, it is more prejudicial than probative and not admissible under Rule 403. Motion at 21 through 36. Excuse me. Second, Big Crip Conway contends that his music recordings are protected First Amendment speech and therefore not admissible. That was a weak one, Toby. Third, he contends that none of the listed evidence in the narrow timeline should be admissible under Article 38.36 of the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure as prior relationship evidence. Motion at 38 and 40. Defendant Marquise GRC Big Crip Yellowbeezy Conway, continuous lack of merit. So they have Article 38.36 of the Code of Criminal Procedure, prior ill will and hostility between the parties. And all prosecutions for murder. Let me see, is this just citing cases? Yep, it looks like this. They're just citing case law. Okay. They got the rules on here. Motive. While motive is not an essential element of a crime, evidence of a motive is always admissible because it is relevant as a circumstance trending to prove the commission of the offense. So they cited some case law to back them on that. Intent and knowledge. Okay, they cited case law on that. State of mind. Contextual evidence. Inextricably intertwined evidence and background evidence. Okay, here we go. The state's proposed evidence is necessary to prove core issues, events leading to the charged offense. The assault, shooting, and death of Roy Lee Pate is the starting point of the feud between defendant Conway and the decedent Moultrie. While the timeline contained in the state's amended notice shows that the feud between the record label goes back further, the feud directly between the defendant and the decedent commenced with events surrounding the death of Roy Lee Pate. Pate was a Dallas comedian and a friend and associate of the decedent. A state's witness, G.J. Witness 1. That's how they have them listed. G.J. Witness 1 will testify that in 2017, Pate and defendant Conway entered into verbal feud over social media that resulted in a confrontation on August 1st, 2017. See States Exhibit 1008 at 56 and through 59. G.J. Witness 1 will testify to the events that occurred during this confrontation. Oh, will you now, witness? Later, in September of 2018, Roy Lee was shot and died of complications from his gunshot wound on October 13, 2018. Law enforcement testimony will show that this case was unsolved and there was no evidence defendant Marquise DeAndre GRC Yellowbeezy Big Crip Conway was involved at all. This evidence is not offered as an extraneous act committed by Conway, but instead offered as the starting point of the ill will and retaliatory violence that began directly between the parties. State witness testimony will show that it was rumored that defendant Conway and his associates, including co-conspirator Trap Boy Freddie, were involved in the shooting of Roy Lee Pate. So they said they have state witnesses that are going to come and testify that it was rumored. That's hearsay. I don't know, state, you seem kind of weak with that one. This testimony is also, also cooperated by defendant Yellow Beezy. On admissions in State Exhibit 1013, media interviewers direct questions to defendant Conway of his shooting was revenge for the shooting of Pate. And they give you the exhibits where you can get this, okay? And follower comments in defendant Conway's live post during one of the decedent's media interviews while speaking about the feud with defendant Yellow Beezy. The interviewer asked how Pate's death affected him. But more importantly, in the December 2019 release of 219, paying homage to Pate on his birthday, he rapped lyrics that alluded to his involvement in the shooting of Yellow Beezy and co-conspirator Trap Boy Freddie as revenge for Roy Lee Pate. Defendant Marquise DeAndre GRC Yellow Beezy Big Crip Conway and his co-conspirators contrived this murder for hire scheme as retaliation for the decedent and his association, aka his shotters, involvement in their shootings. Evidence of Roy Lee's shooting and death that started the starting point of this feud is paramount to the jury's understanding of the charged offense. This evidence is prior relationship evidence showing prior ill will and hostility between the parties and is contextual evidence. Further, this evidence is central to the state's case of retaliatory motive. and intend to have the decedent killed. They give you case law. Defendant Yellow Big Crook Beezy seeks to limit testimony regarding the prior feud of the parties, but neither murder nor capital murder for remuneration occur in a vacuum. This evidence does not confuse the issues or mislead the jury and is not needlessly hold on cumulative evidence. Rather, this evidence is directly on point to the state's central theory of retaliatory motive and necessary evidence regarding the starting point of the parties' prior relationship. Further, any evidence that Big GRC Big Crip Conway was rumored to be involved in Page's shooting is no more prejudicial than the charged offense. Accordingly, this evidence is more probative than prejudicial. The shooting of defendant Conway and co-conspirator Trap Boy Freddy are necessary to prove the state's theory of retaliatory motive to commit the charged offense. Again, I am just not understanding how this is an 84-page document, and on page 10 they started, and since they're in, have referred to Trap Boy Freddy as a co-conspirator who is also responsible for paying for the death of Melvin Noble. Please tell me, so he's not indicted? Like, what? I'm not understanding that part. I've been here an hour. In the early mornings of October 14, 2018, just hours after Page's death, a vehicle drove alongside defendant Conway's vehicle as he drove home on the tollway. Unknown individuals then opened fire, hitting defendant Conway multiple times, resulting in him being taken to the hospital. Defendant Big Crip Conway recounted the event in 3 media interviews, see State's exhibits. Law enforcement testimony and a body camera recording will show that the following day, a Louisville Police Department detective met with GRC Big Crip and Conway in his hospital room. During this interview, defendant Conway initially cooperated and recounted the events of the shooting and the ongoing feud. So, Mr. Keep It in the Streets, when them police first came to you, you were telling everything. I think Mo3 did it. We were beefing. This what happened. According to this document from the state, Marquise DeAndre, GRC, Yellow Beezy, Big Crip Conway, you initially cooperated. You told him. You recounted the events of the shooting and the ongoing feud. State's Exhibit 1013. When asked if he thought the feud had anything to do with Pate, Yellow Beezy responded, I think so. Beezy, that's what you told that Louisville police detective? Yellow Beezy, you told the police that you and 3 was beefing when you got shot, and that you think you got shot because of Roy Lee? Yellow Beezy, that's what these people say you told them. That's what they say. That's what they say. Further, the testimony and body-worn camera recordings will show that defendant Conway was informed that the decedent's head of security and chief enforcer hold on. Camera defendant Conway was informed that the vehicle drove that drove alongside his vehicle was registered to, damn, Sean G, they put your whole name, Sean Christopher Griffin, the decedent's head of security and chief enforcer. Law enforcement testimony and the body-worn camera recordings will show that defendant Conway declined to press charges after being informed. So the Louisville police went into Yellow Beezy's hospital room the day after he was shot. He told them everything that happened around his shooting. He told them that him and Three had been beefing. They asked him if he think that he got shot as a result of Roy Lee. He said, I think so. Are y'all okay? Are y'all okay? Oh, man, law enforcement testimony will also show that on December 26, 2019, co-conspirator Trap Boy Freddie and other associates were shot by unknown individuals while parked in their Sprinter van and taken to the hospital for treatment for their gunshot wounds. Then, in the early morning hours of September 7th, 2020, co-conspirator Trap Boy Freddie was shot in the leg by an unknown individual. Co-conspirator Trap Boy Freddie declined to cooperate with law enforcement in both cases, and both cases remain unsolved to this day. Co-conspirator Trap Boy Freddie references one of these shootings in the collaborative song with defendant Yellow Big Crip Beezy On Your Head, stating, niggas shot from across the street and wondering why they ain't kill me. After the decedent's murder, co-conspirator Trap Boy Freddie released several autobiographical lyrics about these events in his songs Hypocrite and Shirt. In all three songs, the references allude that the decedent being involved in his shootings was the reason for placing a bounty on Mo3 or the decedent's resulting death. Okay. I hope they got more than lyrics. Okay. Rule 404, subsection B, does not apply to these events because the evidence does not concern any extraneous offense or bad act committed by or associated to the character of Big Crip Conway. They give you some more case law. Rather, this evidence goes directly to the prior ill will and hostility of the parties under Article 38.36 and is in contextual evidence that is intertwined with the charged offense. The evidence of the three shootings is central to the state's theory of motive. The jury is entitled to know how the offense developed and progressed in order to have a complete picture of what occurred. Further, this evidence does not confuse the issues or mislead the jury and is not needlessly cumulative. Without this evidence, the jury would be left speculating why two successful Dallas rap artists would pay or promise to pay for the murder of a fellow Dallas rap artist. Hold on, y'all. Let me put me some hot water back in here so I can bathe and we can get out. But just give me 1 second. Let me just put me a little more hot water up in here. I got y'all a little poll to answer real quick, okay? The hot water is hot watering. Just need a few more seconds, baby, to get this water hot. Are y'all shocked that Trap is now named a co-conspirator? Did y'all think that he would ever be named a co-conspirator? What's next? Does he get indicted? Only two of y'all want to vote? Well, who stuck a stick up y'all's ass? All right. Thanks for the votes, okay? As you come in, please just answer the poll question. Let me finish reading this to y'all so I can be through with this, okay? Because tomorrow on the wake up, get the kids together, we got a lot of Carmelo Anthony docs in, okay? All right, so now they're going to the Unruly Citizens concert and corresponding social media posts. The state will seek to admit law enforcement testimony and corresponding social media posts from the parties regarding the 7/27/2019 Unruly Citizens Concert in Frisco, Texas, originally co-headlined by Three and Yellow. Law enforcement testimony will show that ATF task force detectives reached out to concert promoters and alerted them of the security concern. Okay, so Yellow did not call the police on Three, y'all. Yellow did not call the police on Three. The police called the promoters on Yellow and Three. How about that? Law enforcement testimony will show that ATF task force detectives, I wonder if that was Eric Barnes, reached out to the concert promoters and alerted them of the security concerns regarding having both artists appear at the same venue due to retaliatory violence between the parties occurring at the time. The evidence will show that promoters removed Mo3 from the lineup, but that he was arrested at the venue on outstanding warrants when he still attempted to appear. The following day, both Three and Yellow posted social media videos about the incident. See States Exhibits 1027 and 1029. I ain't lying, y'all. Them states exhibit numbers is crazy work. Neither the testimony about the event nor Conway's admissions on his Instagram concern extraneous offenses or bad acts committed by, I ain't gonna do it, Yellow Beezy, and therefore are not subject to Rule 404, subsection B. Rather, the evidence is direct evidence of the prior relationship of the parties, specifically the ill will and hostility between the parties, and is admissible under Article 38.36. Additionally, this is contextual evidence of the existence of an ongoing feud between the parties. Moreover, Marquise DeAndre, GRC, Yellow Beezy, Big Crippin Conway's voluntary admissions during his social media posts directly proved motive. Neither the testimony nor the video exhibits confuse the issues or mislead the jury, and they are not needlessly cumulative evidence. The next section says defendant Yellow Big Crip Beezy assaulted Rain and defendants corresponding social media posts. So y'all, they just reiterating, right? But I mean, it does give a little more detail as they go along. The state plans to offer witness testimony and video exhibits showing that on January 26, 2020, Brandon Rainwater, Mo3's postmortem manager, was confronted and assaulted by Yellow Beezy outside of the Live nightclub in Dallas, Texas. Video exhibits will show defendant Conway chase down and strike Rainwater in the street. The following week, the decedent posted a video on social media discussing the assault and a video of the assault. Further, state witness testimony and exhibits will show that Rainwater subsequently sued and received a judgment against Yellow Beezy for the assault in civil district court. This evidence proves prior relationships of the parties, specifically the ill will and hostility between the parties, and is admissible under Article 38.36. This is also contextual evidence showing that the feud and hostility extended to associates of the decedent. Further, it is evidence of defendant Conway's motive to commit the charged offense. Additionally, evidence that defendant Conway committed an assault is no more prejudicial than the charged offense. They said, baby, talking about your damn assault that you got charged with, baby, that ain't gonna do you more harm than being charged with paying for the killing of Mo3. Accordingly, this evidence is more probative than prejudicial. They back at the V Live Houston shooting, y'all. The state plans to admit law enforcement testimony that on September 19, 2020, Mo3 and his shotters were ambushed by associates of Trap Boy Freddy's CME. I never knew that. I gathered, right? I know you fucking lying. God know I ain't read all this shit, girl. And I ain't no girl. Kiss my daddy ass. Thanks for coming home, because I would have never fucking knew. Hey, Flip Mode, baby. Well, of course you can. I took it off mute. I had put it on mute to put me some more hot water in the tub. And I just started back reading. I never, so I don't know what the last thing they heard was. They talked about Rain and Beezy. Girl, yeah, we was on a roll. We're going to start with V Live Houston shooting, okay? Okay, wait, what did we learn while you was gone? Okay, when Yella Beezy got shot, he initially cooperated with law enforcement. And there is transcripts and body-worn footage video that says that when law enforcement went to him the day after he was shot, he recounted the entire incident, told them about the previous feud between he and Mo3, and when the law enforcement officer from Louisville Police, the detective, asked Marquise DeAndre GRC Yella Beezy Big Crip Conway if he thought he got shot because of Roy Lee, he said he think so. Okay? So he absolutely freaking cooperated when he got shot until they told him, no, that's not what this says. That's listen, if I'm lying, I'm lying. Like I said, I'm going to post these documents to the community wall for members only. Yeah. And then they also said at the Unruly Citizens concert in Frisco, Yella Beezy did not call the police, y'all. They actually say that ATF task force detective reached out to the concert promoter and alerted them of the security concerns regarding having both artists appear at the same venue due to retaliatory violence between the parties occurring at the time. So that's clear on that. Baby, the police called the promoters on Yella and 3. So they went to arguing back and forth about who did what. Whole time, they say it's an ATF task force detective. Who y'all think that was? It could have probably been a number of people, but of course I said, okay, but I wonder if that was good old Bones. I wonder if Barnes was the one who had called. That's what I said, Lee. Okay. So I think that pretty much covers, I think, the biggest of it. Oh, and in this second reading, everything they was talking about in the beginning of this part, every bullet point closed with the shooting of Roy Lee Pate. As far as things that Trap said and did and Yellow, baby. And the language that they have began to use since introducing Trap Boy Freddy as a co-conspirator is definitely organized crime RICO language. They're talking about he and Yella and their associates doing things in furtherance of the conspiracy. I think that they are going to charge them with organized crime. I never thought that before. I know that there's been a lot of people saying it this whole time, but I have to say, after going over this document just so far, seems as if they're going to go after a RICO. Well, with the state, it's called organized crime. It's what they gave everybody surrounding the Siobhan Randall MIT case. Nobody was charged with their deaths. Everybody was charged and convicted of organized crime, which means that it's still open. Okay? So, we're going to keep going. But if you're just tuning in at the hour when I'm finished, do I think Freddie going down? Leisha, I think, well, this is very interesting to watch, okay? This is one of those, I ain't never seen no shit like this before. I don't know what the fuck going on, if I'm gonna be honest. I don't know what the fuck going on. I've never seen anything like this before in all my 42 years of living. I don't understand how in this document the prosecution is hell-bent and stating as fact that Trap Boy Freddie helped pay for the assassination of Mo 3. They keep saying it. They keep stating it as a matter of fact that he's a co-conspirator and that they conspired to pay for the murder of 3. So it's already looking like, okay, you know what I'm saying? It's already looking like, well, now it's getting weirder, because as long as he was unindicted or unnamed as a co-conspirator, it's like, okay, well, they have no reason to arrest him. But naming him a factual co-conspirator. Hey, Regina, welcome home, Bookie Butt. Regina, what do you think about them finally saying that Trap Boy Friday conspired with Yellow Beezy and others to pay for Mo 3 to come up out here? I just don't understand if they are stating all of this factually, then where's the indictment? Okay? Where's the indictment? That's weird to me. I was saying that earlier, that even, you know, the old school Italian mob bosses, even they had to go sit down. You know? Yeah, it is crazy for them to be listing him. It's crazy to hear some of their feuds told on the back end. Freddie never gave up no money, though. It's a difference when you gave the money, but Freddie didn't give up money. So then King BC, I'm not saying he did, because of course I have no clue. Okay? I'm just wondering, if he never gave up any money and they have no evidence, then why are they now in the 23rd hour naming him as a co-conspirator who conspired with Marquise DeAndre, GRC, Yellow Beezy, Big Crip Conway? Like, why they keep naming him then? You know? So I think this is something. You know? Like them old folks say, it's something. Well, that's something too. Well, that's just something. Fuck too. Baby, okay, so I got a cigarette case. Y'all, I'm coming so we can finish. I'm just getting out of the tub, okay? And I had my cigarette case. I was picking it up. And y'all, all my damn cigarettes fell out. Oh. All right. Ain't nothing like a clean ass. Okay? I don't know how y'all don't be wanting a clean ass, baby, but it ain't nothing like it. Whew. Coming in the office. It was just 11:11, y'all. That's why Kiwanika mad at Freddie, because he didn't get his money from him. Yes, Freddie played a part in it, like talking about it, but he didn't give up no money. Well, do you know that that's all it takes? Do you know that he ain't never had to give up a dime? If that's what that is, yep, and I could see that. But baby, you get the same amount of time for promising to pay as you get for paying. So as they told 3, feed your wolves or your wolves gonna eat you. And that what they told 3? What's up with it? You want the projector? Huh?
I don't.
Okay. Well, one gonna watch it and one ain't. It's all good. I love y'all. Get y'all a good night's rest. Because tomorrow y'all gonna cut the grass with scissors.
Why?
Oh, I don't know. I just want to be Mother Misery or something. I don't know. Trying out for this new role.
Why do we have to cut the grass with scissors?
I'm just being petty.
That's gonna take like 100 years.
You got time, baby. You're only 6. I'm so proud of the way you're reading, though.
Thank you. Because I read Nemo's whole thing.
I know. High five.
That is so good.
You gonna make me start twisting again, girl.
You didn't think it was only going to be the 12th of you?
Sharpen those nails, honey. It's just bad. Disagree. I'm a fashion expert. If you throw that hair back when you say that. Project Runway, Fridays on Hulu and Disney+.
All right. No. All right. I love y'all. I'll see y'all tomorrow or something, okay? Oh, look at... Oh, Lord. I ain't gonna say nothing. I ain't gonna say a mammy mumbling thing. Nope. I ain't gonna say a word. I ain't gonna say a word. I ain't gonna say a word. I just know that I ain't gotta say a word, because when I get up in the morning, I know that my 2 little beautiful babies will have already fixed what it is I'm looking at. Why the fuck do I have... Lord have mercy, never mind. Let me go in my office. Let me go in my office. Let me go in my office. But feds can come and pick him up for a RICO case, but state really don't have nothing on Freddie. Just talking around people. But see, here the thing. Again, as long as Freddie talked about paying to get 3 gone, that's enough. That's enough. Shit, if he didn't, he should have. Because if he fucked around and let's just...
Where's the other remote? I can't hear the TV.
Oh, I put it in there somewhere. Let's just say he was talking around Theo. Knowing Theo shit, the man probably recorded. Right? Yeah, knowing Theo, the man probably fucking recorded. All right, I'm ready to finish reading. We're on page 25, My Father God in Heaven.
I'll find it for you. Hold on, I'll come.
V Live.
Here you go.
Thank you. Much appreciated, my beautiful brown skin baby.
Yes, Mom. I'm about to go clean up that mess with my hands.
Okay.
Okay. Diane, come on, let's go clean this up.
The state plans to admit law enforcement testimony that on. Hey, you ladies, are those my AirPods on the table in there? Okay. Okay. The state plans to admit law enforcement testimony that on September 19, 2020, the decedent and his shotters were ambushed by associates of co-conspirator Trap Boy Freddy's CME record label a week or so after Trap Boy Freddy was shot in the leg. During this event, the parties exchanged gunfire, resulting in 2 injuries. This evidence is additional evidence of the prior relationships of the parties, specifically the ill will and hostility between the parties, and is admissible under Article 38.36. This evidence is contextual evidence showing the continuing violence leading up to the charged offense. The evidence also supports co-conspirator Trap Boy Freddy's motive and intent to conspire with defendant Marquise DeAndre, GRC Yellow BZ Big Crip Conway, to carry out the charged offense. The evidence does not confuse the issues or mislead the jury, and it is not needlessly cumulative evidence. But it's going to be a RICO anyway. Feds just wait to see what state has to present, especially on this case when this is a joint case. This was a joint case between the state of Texas and the ATF. I'm going to find that original document for you guys and show y'all it. Okay, so now they're back at the defendant's Ava Center performance. The state plans to admit witness testimony and video and photographic exhibits showing that the shooter, my first cousin on my daddy's side, Kiwanika White, aka Banzo Bling, was present on stage with defendant Big Crip Conway when he performed at the Ava Center on Halloween in 2020, just 11 days before the charged offense. This evidence is material to corroborate testimony regarding the identity of the shooter and his relationship to defendant Big Crip Conway. The evidence does not confuse the issues or mislead the jury, and it is not needlessly cumulative evidence. The next section is defendant Marquise DeAndre, GRC Yellow BZ Big Crip Conway, admissions during media interviews. It's organized criminal activity. That's how Fed's picking it up. So that's what I said, that the state actually does the organized crime, which is how they charged everybody that was involved with the Siobhan Randall and Mike T case. No one was ever officially charged with murder. They all were charged with organized crime. So the language in this document does speak as they are setting the stage for a state organized crime, RICO. But what's crazy is although some GRC members were involved in a GRC drug trafficking RICO, they still could be charged with this separate state RICO. Isn't that something? It gets really dangerous when someone's entire life is on the line. The state seeks to admit 3 media interviews featuring defendant Big Crip Conway after his shooting incident. The state has selected these 3 because the defendant, Big Crip Conway, voluntarily admits to questions regarding his shooting, the feud, who shot him, his comments regarding Mo 3, and his thoughts on forgiveness and reprisal of the individual who shot him. The first one, again, is Breakfast Club. On November 7th, 2018, defendant Marquise DeAndre, GRC Yellow Beezy, Big Crip Conway, was interviewed on the Breakfast Club Power 105.1. The state seeks to admit a video exhibit of defendant Yellow Big Crip Beezy Conway's admissions. The following example excerpts are material to the state's case. Okay, so I told y'all that they were really repetitive in this filing. However, every time they relist something, they come with more details. So I'm here for it. So the ill will and hostility contextual recounts the events of the shooting. The examples are going to be at the 3 minute and 53 second mark. DJ Envy says, now what? Now what happened? You know, you got a #1 record. Yellow. Envy. And then a couple of weeks later, you know, they said that you was shot and rushed to the hospital in a drive-by shooting. Yellow Beezy. Yeah. DJ Envy. Well, what? Damn. What happened? They literally have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 whats. What happened? What do you remember? Yellow Beezy. I don't know, man. I was at the strip club. We was just cooling at first, and then after the strip club, they trying to get me to go to this other little old club. Like, what's the club in? I ain't trying to diss no club, nah. But what's the club in New York? You know, you ain't got no business in. Envy said, I ain't gonna say a name, but it's a lot of them. Yellow says, yeah, like, you know, it just like Angela Yee comes in and says all of them. Envy says, you ain't got no business in there. Beezy says, yeah, you ain't got no business in there. They have been investigating all of them for years. According to this document, they said 2017. I still believe, and this current doc drop kind of validated my belief that when those officers went in that house and seen those bodies of those 2 children, because Mike T was still a child, I believe that when they saw the bodies and the conditions of those children, it was up. It was up. So, yeah, okay, so they started talking, and then Marquise DeAndre, GRC, Yellow Beezy, Big Crip Conway said it was like one of them clubs I went to after the club that I was originally in. So, like, everybody getting me amped up like that, man, let's go to the club. I'm like, man, I gotta, cause my son was finna go with my my baby mama, mother. Envy say, mm-hmm. Big Mouth Beezy say to Arkansas for like a couple of weeks. So I'm like, man, nah, I'm gonna go chill with him for a couple of days. I mean, for just a little time before he get up out of here. So they steady amping up, man. Let's just go for it. Let's just go for a couple of 20, 30 minutes. Blase, blase, blase. So I was on investigation for 6 years. They opened my case and closed my case. Yes, he was 17. I remember that early morning when they found him by 1:30. DJ Envy, that's the G right there. We just go for 20 minutes. Angela Yee says, mm-hmm. DJ Envy say just 20 minutes. So Big Mouth Beezy says, yeah, so I actually get up in there. We go for about like 20, 30 minutes. We get to tripping, the little dancers or whatever, you know, tipping, excuse me. I told him I gotta go. So when I'm leaving, I get in the car. I just moved into my new house. Like I don't even remember where I stay. I just know like what highway I stay on. DJ Envy says, right. Yellow Big Mouth Beezy says, you get what I'm saying? So I'm on my way to the house. Like everybody know, like when you leaving the club, you gotta be looking like through your rear view. Envy says all over the place. Big Mouth Beezy says like you gotta try to see who filing. So when I leave the club, like I'm running red lights and everything. Envy says same with me. If you are coming through these red lights, that means you filing. So I'm on top of, so I know what to do like after that. You know, you know what I'm saying? So Angela Yee said, were you by yourself? Big Mouth Beezy says, yeah, I was by myself like after the club because I was finna go home. You get what I'm saying? Like I had just moved, so I don't be wanting like everybody knowing where I'm staying. If it say right, Big Mouth Beast say, you know what I'm saying? So like we were deep at the club, but just like that when I left, I was by myself. So I'm driving or whatever. I get on the highway, I'm punching it. Like it seemed like a couple of cars trying to pull up on me, like trying to follow me. But I'm like, maybe I'm just tripping because, you know, sometimes you can just really just drive yourself crazy, just be going overboard. So he was a little paranoid during this time. I mean, they allegedly did just have for a leak. Angela, you say, mm-hmm. Beezy say, so I'm driving, whatever. So I slow down because the police got some cars pulled over to the side. So I actually get on the highway, like towards where my house is or whatever. Please, I beg your pardon. And I get on the highway, like a lot of cars that's on there. It's just like, it's not a lot of cars, but it's some kind of, it's a little cars there. Beezy say, so I passed them. So I'm like, if I pass them, the only cars behind me is the one that was already up on there.
Do you want Brooklyn to wash some plastic cups? Because that's what she doing.
Let her do it if that's what she want to do.
She washed the whole cup.
So like I said, I slowed down, listen to music, got the music going real loud. So at this time, looking for my address because I don't know like where I stay. I ain't even been in the house. I probably spent the night at the house one time. If it say okay, Big Mouth Beezy say when we got the house, I had never even been there. Ye say mm-hmm. Beezy say I only been to the house like one time, just basically. So I'm trying to find a house or whatever. So when I'm looking down That's when I guess the car pulled up beside me, just started letting into the car or whatever. If it say right. So now they say ill will and hostility, contextual motive. They start that portion at 6 minutes and 51 seconds. Angela Yee begins this conversation, this portion of the conversation. Did you feel like it was random? Or you think that, like somebody you saw in the club and followed you? Or do you think it was somebody that had been intending to do that specifically to you? Beezy say, probably a little street beef. Envy say, mm-hmm. Beezy say, you know how that stuff be going, but I don't know. Now the state has outlined ill will and hostility contextual recounts the events of his shooting. This starts at the 7-minute 40-second mark with Yellow Big Mouth Beezy. Like, when I got shot, like, I'm seeing what's going on. Like, I kind of like swerve or whatever. So I don't even just remember looking at the car when it was getting shot. I just know, I just like something just snapped in me. Like let me know what was going on. I could just hear, like, see the gunfire, just whatever. I I don't even know if I'm hit at the time. So I'm trying to swerve or whatever. So I'm I ain't gone. I'ma talk, but I had my gun on my lap. DJ Envy says, mm-hmm. Beezy say, you know what I'm saying? Like in Texas, you allowed to carry. Envy say, you could drive with all that? Superman Marquis say, yeah. You get what I'm saying? Envy say, I'm allowed to carry a 40. Yee say, you had your registered gun on your lap? Beezy say, exactly. Angela Yee say, yeah. Beezy say, man, I really did. You know what I'm saying? So, but when it happened, like the gun fell somewhere. I don't know where the gun had fell to. So I'm just trying to drive whatever. At this time, like I end up like literally jumping into the passenger seat and start trying to steer. Cause I'm trying to find the gun. I'm steady getting hit up. Angela Yee says, right. Beezy says, but I can't just see like well. So Envy X, so they're still shooting at you in the passenger side? Beezy says, yeah, they still coming. So I'm I'm trying to steal whatever. I think like that's how my arm got shot. Yeah, I remember this interview. Okay. Do we need to read all this? Everybody remember this interview, right? Do we really need to read the full transcript? Okay, so we can move past it. Okay. But how the hell I end the poll? I just be doing shit. Y'all, how the hell I end the poll? Okay, there you go. All right, so let's get past this. Oh my God, there's so many other pages too. Trying to get past it, child. I'm scrolling. Wait, this is another one. Okay, the next one is the Beat 97.9 interview. Okay. And the transcript from that one. Then they have the DJ Flad interview. Transcript. And then they got Mo 3 Cam Capone interview. And they had Sean G entire name. Sean Christopher Griffin in this document. Alright. So then after all of those interviews, they have other social media posts made by the defendant Conway and co-conspirator Trap Boy Freddie. On 11/11/2020, hours after the assassination of the decedent, Yella went live on Insta. During his live post, defendant Conway made a few admissions and played a short excerpt on one of his songs as he read the comments from his followers. The timing of the post, his admission, the lyrics he chose to play during that live post, and his non-verbal expressions as he read follower comments are probative of his state of mind at the time of the murder and directly prove his motive and intent to carry out this assassination. Additionally, the state seeks to admit this evidence, including the follower comments, y'all, as further evidence of prior ill will between the parties under Article 38.36 and contextual evidence of the feud. This evidence goes directly to core issues in this case, does not confuse the issues or mislead the jury, and it is not needlessly cumulative evidence. So then they at his December 15th, 2020 Instagram Live. And they said at the time he was on the phone with co-conspirator Trap Boy Freddie. During this live, Trap Boy Freddie previewed for Marquise DeAndre GRC Yellow Bees at Big Crip Conway a new track he just recorded titled Laugh Now. Defendant Conway made a few admissions as he listened along and read the comments from his followers. Defendant Conway's and co-conspirator Trap Boy Freddie's admissions, Trap Boy Freddie's admission, the lyrics played during the live post, and defendant Conway's nonverbal expressions as he heard the new track and read follower comments are probative of his state of mind at the time, including his consciousness of guilt, and directly prove the conspiracy and their motive and intent to carry out this murder. Additionally, the state seeks to admit this evidence, including the follower comments, as further evidence of prior ill will between the parties under Article 38.36 and contextual evidence of the feud. Co-conspirator Trap Boy Freddie statements and the lyrics played are statements made during and in furtherance of this conspiracy. There go that language. All of this evidence goes directly to core issues in this case. It's the non-verb. Okay, they is on his top, Lee. To the core issues in this case, does not confuse the issues or mislead the jury, and is not needlessly cumulative evidence. So then they talking more about Trap's Instagram Live. in his vehicle where he drove to and past the murder scene. During his live post, co-conspirator Trap Boy Freddy made several statements during and in furtherance of the conspiracy. These statements are evidence proving conspiracy with the defendant, Big Crip Conway, motive, intent, and state of mind of co-conspirator Trap Boy Freddy near the time and location of the assassination. This evidence goes directly to core issues in this case, does not confuse the issues or mislead the jury, and is not needlessly cumulative evidence. So now they got the listed music, and they say they are fundamental to the state's central theory of motive and the jury's understanding of the offense. So again, they got 219 after the shooting of Yella and Trap Boy Freddy. Mo3 released their music, paying homage to Pate while rapping about the feud and the bounty on his head. The decedent specifically references the shooting of Yellow Beezy and Trap Boy Freddy and alludes to his involvement in these shootings. Further, the decedent references a prior confrontation between him and Trap Boy Freddy, which was video recorded. Okay, so they must be talking about when he went to the shop, right? So that'll be State's Evidence 1117. Just a side note, y'all. I fucked around and ate so much meat. Like actual meat, not in a sexual way. And y'all, like I was eating chicken sandwiches and hamburgers. And I got so much mucus now as a result of it. I feel horrible. Like, oh my God. My body says, bitch. But anyway. Law enforcement and other witness testimony will discuss the impact of this song on the feud between the parties. This evidence proves prior relationship evidence under Article 38.36 and contextual evidence regarding the feud and the effect Pate's death had on Mo 3. This evidence is central to the state's theory. Yeah, I'm going to go boil me some shrimp and I'm going to put me some broth in there and season it real good and make me like a shrimp soup. But I got to purge my little body, baby. I got to get all that processed as meat out of me so that this mucus can go away too. It's irritating. All right, so they say it's central to the state's theory of defendant Conway retaliatory motive for the charged offense. Lastly, lyrical components of this song are mocked or referenced in later music released from defendant Yellow Beezy and co-conspirator Trap Boy Freddy, further proving their motive and intent to commit the assassination. The state seeks to admit this music video in its entirety, which is not an extraneous offense or bad act committed by Marquise DeAndre, Big GRC, Yellow Beezy, Big Crippin Conway, and therefore is not subject to Rule 404, subsection B. This evidence goes directly to core issues in this case, does not confuse the issues or mislead the jury, and is not needlessly cumulative.
I'm almost finished with the dishes.
Okay, baby. Thank you so much.
I'm almost finished with all of them.
Okay. When they'll do anything not to go to bed. When they start wanting to wash dishes. The paper plates and the paper bowls. I love my little babies. Okay, so the following are examples of excerpted lyrics material to the state's case. It's my dog birthday today. They say that is retaliatory motive, ill will, contextual evidence, referencing and honoring Pate. And if I die today, oh, one of these niggas, they gonna meet their maker. On gang, turn me up. Interviewers be asking me like, what's up with you and those rappers in the city? I don't fuck with none of them bitch ass rapper niggas. They scared of me. That's on gang. They say that shows ill will, contextual existence of feud, state of mind, real belief that he may die in this feud. This next lyric they say is retaliatory motive, alludes to involvement in Conway and Boy Freddy's shootings, ill will and hostility, and is contextual. Stick dirty, I'm clutching it, riding around for one of these rappers. I'm finna chalk them out. Internet beef, I decline that, but in person, pull up, then I'll walk them down. First we hit up that rapper, then we hit up that sprinter. I know all about they little hideouts. Lastly, they say retaliatory motive alludes involvement. Dear Heavenly Father, I know that I sinned. In the city they talking. They know what I did. I hit up that rapper. 3, you made him famous. Yeah, he barely made it, but will not again. All I see is yellow tape and Berettas. Okay, so they said that oh my bad, it was cut off. They said that is retaliatory motive, alludes involvement in defendant Conway shooting and further violence, ill will and hostility contextual. ATF investigation was named yellow tape. Ain't that something? So this next lyric they says is retaliatory motive, references defendant Yellow Big Crip Beezy shooting, ill will and hostility, contextual, references a confrontation between Mo 3 and Trap Boy Freddy. Say Cheese trying to get in my business. I can't tell him too much. He's a blogger. But he seen that video, nigga. Oh, he did? So he know that I'm about what I'm talking about. That's on God. Laos asking about a body in Fort Worth. What? Had my show, but I do not recall. I don't know. You heard that rapper got shot on the tollway. No, I don't. Who? Whatchamacallit? This next one they said is ill will and hostility, contextual expression of awareness of threats on his life. Yelling murder, murder. Tell them better be careful when we swerve up. And they say they gonna murk us, gonna hurt us. Guess I got a dirt one. Go get a shirt for him. This is murder, murder. Knowing I ain't worried, I'm not scared of them. Riding with that 30, catch them lurking. Guess I got to dirt something. Go get a shirt for him. So this is the next thing they say is Mo 3's acknowledgement of a bounty placed on his head. Heard that they keep talking reckless. What? Oh, they talking outside of they neck. They neck? Heard he put 10 on my head. My head? So his shooter gonna end up in debt for real. How you gonna pay for a body? But tell the police I'm a threat. You's a hoe. They on IG playing gangster. What? So I will not respond to that mess. Yeah. So then they say this next part, shows ill will and hostility. Contextual states that the party should keep it in the streets, which defendant Yalabizi Conway later turns into a song. Body for body, we catching them lacking right outside of the lobby. Tell them come down the block with that thing. Yeah, police conviction, because these niggas snitching. Keep it in the streets. I will not say a thing. No. This rap shit is politics. I'm not with it. They say that it's smoke, but they writing down names? What? This my apology for anybody that jump in my way. Take that to the grave. This next one is hilarious. It says, contextual co-conspirator trap boy Freddie Moore later references Daddy Shop and Sainer in song Hypocrite. Yeah, they were. I'm in Oak Cliff at my daddy shop. What? On Sainer with Sean. I ain't scared of none. I ain't. Because really, I live what I rap about. I do. So these niggas know how I'm coming. Gang. Sean G, baby, your name is so deeply embedded in this. And it's something. Sean Christopher Griffin, that's what they named you in this document. They say they told Yella Beezy the very next day after he got shot that your car was used in the commission of that attempt on his life. Good googly move. So this shows ill will, hostility. Defendant Conway later mocks these statements in take 3. Please leave me alone. I don't want no smoke. I don't want no friction. I'm scared. I'm a scary, friendly-ass rapper. Please leave me alone. These niggas telling on me. I don't want to go to jail. I don't want to do none of that. Please leave me alone. All right, so then they got Yella's music releases. They say that on 7/19/2019, he released a music video recording listed hitters, which featured NLE Choppa. That's in the state's exhibit. So they only want to admit the song lyrics sung by Yellow Marquis GRC Big Crip Beezy Conway. In this song marked the first song by defendant Conway in which he raps about placing bounties on rivals. Law enforcement testimony will show that during this feud, Dallas rappers for first time began rapping about placing bounties on rivals. Defendant Yellow Big Crip Beezy also directly references his feud with Pate. States Exhibit 113 and 1114. These lyrics are inextricably intertwined with the charged offense and prove retaliatory motive. This evidence goes directly to core issues in this case, is no more prejudicial than the charged offense. Does not confuse the issues or mislead the jury, and it is not needlessly cumulative evidence. So this is some of the experts from the lyrics. I got niggas, they gonna walk you, they'll hit you. Not my niggas, they gonna walk you off the dribble. And I got pistols that go pop, pop, knock you gristle. And I won't miss you. Nah, I won't miss you. I got hitters. 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 I got niggas that will kill for me off the dribble. Off the dribble. I got hitters. I got hitters. I got hitters. Well, are you sure you've told enough people? Marquise DeAndre GRC, Yella Beezy, Big Crip Conway. Boy, I went to go tell it on the mountain. I got hitters that'll kill for me. Yellow, that was not smart. Anyway. The next one that they got says first lyrical reference to placing a bounty on a rival. Also references original feud with Pate. Real Dallas niggas gon' rock that shag. Ball hard, pop that tag. I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like them, Sam. I am. My bad. My bad. Went to score 40 pounds when I bought my shag. Hey, come on with it. You want that work? Then come on and get it. Niggas talking about bags say I'm all in it. You ain't gotta worry, baby. I'm gonna come on with it. Chase that sack on my own mission. Hardhead nigga say I don't listen. My daddy always told me, keep the firearm with you. If a nigga play crazy, I'm gonna fire on a nigga. I drop that bag. The gon' kill you off the dribble. Okay, if I drop that bag, they're going to kill you off the dribble, Yellow says. Oh yeah. Say, make me mad. Make that phone call off a nigga. Yeah, for them racks, they gon' come and pop a nigga. Pop a nigga. The next one they have is keep it in the streets. So just 5 days after, Brandon Sibley Rainwater filed his civil suit against Yellow Marquise GRC Big Crip Yellow Bees of Conway. Okay. Keep it in the streets. The lyrics in the song directly respond to Decedent Mo3's song 219. Further, the lyrics discuss placing a bounty, getting co-conspirator Trap Boy Freddy involved, and Yellow Big Mouth Big Crip Beezy's state of mind concerning the feud being more than mere words. Law enforcement and other state witness testimony will show that this song was a response to the filing of the civil suit. The state seeks to admit the music video in its entirety. They are having a fucking concert at that courthouse as evidence of prior ill will and hostilities between the parties under Article 38.36. Additionally, these lyrics are inextricably intertwined with the charged offense and prove retaliatory motive and intent. Okay, so they got some case law. So they got some lyrical excerpts.
Can you plug my headphones up?
Okay, sugar mama, huh? Here go your charger.
Oh, not that kind of charger. The charger that you...
Okay, you need my kind of charger? Okay, is that why you had that black cable in there that you say you didn't know what it was for?
That one wasn't mine.
I know, but were you using it?
No.
It was also a USB-C. Are you certain?
I wasn't using it.
Okay. I love you.
Kiki, was you looking for your AirPods?
Yeah, I see them. I got them now.
Okay.
Okay, love
Wash
muffin.
everything and everything is clean in the kitchen.
Okay. I love you.
Love you too.
All right, so here we go. They say this shows ill will and hostilities. Contextual song released after filing of civil suit. Direct response to Melvin Mo3 Abdul Noble Jr. Like we can go back and forth with this shit, according to Yellow Beezy. Just don't run to the laws. Don't run to no police. Don't get no man involved. You know what I'm saying? Know what I'm talking about? A lot of niggas be talking that gangster shit, be talking about what they gonna do, what they bout. Soon as something happens, you know what I'm saying? They running and telling, just keep it all the way straight. Keep it in the streets, you know what I'm saying? Marquise DeAndre, you ought to be ashamed of yourself knowing that when you got shot, you had cooperated. Marquise DeAndre, they say they got you on police body cam, telling them people about how you got shot and how you and 3 had been beefing, and that you think you got shot because of Roy Lee. Marquise DeAndre, that's what this document say. What you think about that? Maybe I need to go on Twitter and ask you. Marquise. So, yeah, I can't even take you serious. So, they got that. They got the On Your Head. They got the On Your Head lyrics. They got the Take 3 lyrics. Gassed Up lyrics. Hypocrite lyrics. Laugh Now lyrics. Hell, that's why it's 84 pages. All right, now, here's Yellow's argument that he's protected under the First Amendment. Boy, if Toby told you that, he's gonna put that old Carmelo Anthony flip-flop on you, Marquise DeAndre. Marquise, are you over there in that big, beautiful home? Are you a little concerned? It just came out that Toby went and made a deal without the rest of his defense team or his client knowing. And the deal straight fucked his client. Are you concerned about that, Marquise? I would be. Toby doesn't seem like someone you can trust. He the one told us you was wrapped up in all this, remember? Marquise DeAndre, I don't think Toby likes niggas. Especially niggers that talk like you talk in these lyrics. Oh my God. Marquise, I think he looks at you like Carmelo, not like Amber. Marquise, I think you may be in trouble. But we'll keep reading. The First Amendment does not exclude the listed music releases as evidence in criminal trials. The First Amendment protects music as a form of expression and communication, per Ward v. Rock against racism. However, the First Amendment does not prohibit the evidentiary use of speech to establish the elements of a crime or to prove motive or intent. Wisconsin v. Mitchell. As the Supreme Court has observed, evidence of a defendant's previous declarations or statements is commonly admitted in criminal trials subject to evidentiary rules dealing with relevancy, reliability, and the like. You see, Yellow, this is where it fucked you. Had you been making music talking about you running down and shooting a nigga on the highway wouldn't have raised as many red flags, right, Marquise? Because they knew that you weren't here. But in the event that your music is talking about putting money on someone's head, well, they got you there, buddy. Okay? That's why your music is in, okay? You just can't do that, Marquise DeAndre. Come on now, baby. And you standing stumped down on this? For the sake of all things holy, Marquise DeAndre, don't put these people through a trial. Do you know how much is gonna come out? Marquise DeAndre, you could have worked out a killer fucking deal and been trying to come home on some legislature or so. Whew. Yeah, that jury selection gonna be a motherfucker. Okay, so that's what they just arguing here. So they said his First Amendment claim is out of the window. The selected music and their probative value are distinguishable from those in heart. So now they're arguing back with case law. Okay. They got quite a few pages of case law. Okay, so additionally, unlike Hart, defendant Marquise DeAndre, GRC, Yella Beezy, Big Crip, Conway's lyrics and all 5 songs speak with specificity to the precise conduct with which he is charged. I was just saying that, Marquise DeAndre. You should have hired me. I would have set you up for a whole lot less than Toby set you up for. How the hell is Toby Shook supposed to be this great damn attorney when he got you telling these people that your rap lyrics are a violation of your First Amendment right? Like, Marquise DeAndre, that was really weak. The relevance comes from the lyrics' factual overlap with the charged offense. The timing, the revenge motive, the reference to the rival group, the allusion to the decedent, and details consistent with how the murder was carried out. Those case-specific connections reduce the risk that the jury will misuse the evidence as mere propensity evidence and make the lyrics substantially more probative than the videos in Hart. Yeah, so moreover, evidence that does not involve conduct more inflammatory than the charged crime. Every time I see them say that, it is funny as fuck, because put it in layman's terms. Nigga, you is charged with paying to get somebody killed. How the fuck us talking about you having a fight with rainwater gon' inflammate the motherfucking... They say, nigga, you charged with capital M with remuneration, my nigga. Ain't nothing worse than that. While defendant Yellow Beezy, Big Crip Conway's lyrics speak to criminal activity, it is the precise conduct with which he was charged. As found in other cases, the selected songs do not contain lyrics or visuals of extraneous character evidence such as drugs, sex, degradation of women, firearms, and unrelated graphical violence. They give you some more case law. Conclusion. Y'all, we woo. For the foregoing reasons, the state prays that this honorable court will deny defendant Conway's amended motion in Lyman. So this is from a new district attorney. I haven't seen him before. Ricardo Vela Jr. So he's the new ADA, huh? So Appendix A, they have all of that was listed. Oh, they got exhibit description. Okay. So they've got one. This is an Appendix B. It starts with calendar blank, Detective Barnes CV, timeline, Key 1 white photo, Devin Brown photo, Jerry Lynn Johnson's photo, Marquise DeAndre GRC Big Crip Conway's photo, Devarius Trap Boy Freddie Moore's photo, Theo Jose Bodega Thomas's photo, grand jury transcript and evidence, Roy Lee homicide binder, Roy Lee memorial flyer, Louisville PD detective notes, Louisville PD police report, Conway's hospital interview, notice of intent with Breakfast Club interview, Breakfast Club interview video, and transcript. Notice of intent with all of the same for the 97.9 interview. Trap Boy Freddy's Sprinter police report, notice of intent for 219, and all of the things for that one as well. Cam Capone interview video, and all of the things for that as well. Unruly Citizens flyer, Mo 3's Instagram live about unruly citizens, Yellow Beezy's, his Vlad interview, Keep It in the Streets, transcribed, On Your Head, transcribed, Harder Than Yours, transcribed, Harder Than Yours, 1, 2, 3, 4 screenshots from Harder Than Yours. DPD police report for Trap Boy Freddy being shot. V Live concert flyer. Houston police report about the V Live shooting. First day out video transcribed with 1, 2, 3 transcripts. Avaya Center concert Houston flyer. Notice of intent for Circuit TV. Videos and about 5 screenshots. Notice of intent FGC Banzo Bling Instagram in 2023. FGC Banzo Bling Instagram page 1. His Instagram page 16,779. Good googly move. So they got Kiwanika's IG. Mo 3 address Yellow Beezy's beating up his manager Rainwater. The Vlad interview transcript. Civil suit filing. Civil suit judgment with Rainwater. Trap Boy Freddy's Instagram. They got quite a few things from Trap Boy Freddy's Instagram and stories. Jerry Lynn Johnson and Yellow Beezy text messages. So Yellow sent on 11/11, right? They said he sent these songs that have yet to be published to date to an indicted co-conspirator. They got Jerry Lynn Johnson and Yellow Beezy's text messages. Y'all want to bet that that's what that is? So they got take 3 transcribed. Yellow Beezy's reaction to Mo 3's death on Instagram. live video metadata. They got Truck Boy Freddy and him playing that Laugh Now for Yella on IG. They got the Fight at V Live. Notice of intent to use Yella Bees at Google. Email to Bud Beats. And then Gassed Up, Tool on You. Tool on You. They got a lot from that, okay? A whole lot from that. Hypocrite, the first transcript, and a lot from that. Laugh Now, they got a lot from that. The shirt. Key One White Video Extraction Report. Yellow Beezy All-Star Magazine Facebook page post. Mo3 addresses Yellow Beezy beating up his manager's metadata. Hitters full video. Hitters cropped and transcribed. All of the things for hitters. They got more stuff from IG with Trap and Yella. They got the confrontation between 3 and Trap at the shop. And y'all, that's page 84. So I don't think they're going to move this trial back again. I think they ready. What y'all think? I think they ready. So to show my appreciation, right, I made sure that before I take these meds, I came back and I finished today's work. Because, yes, we are ready. Because guess what I have, you guys? Guess what I have? I am holding in my hand all 193 pages of Carmelo's motion for a new trial. I am holding in my hand all 45 pages of the motion to recuse. Okay. I am holding in my hand defendant's motion to substitute counsel. How many pages is that? That's just 4. Let me see what else I got. I think that's it. Yep, that's it. I have those 3 documents. I have those 3 documents for us. They don't have Meek at Night across them. It's everything. Abso-fucking-lutely, okay? If it wasn't sad, I would crank up tonight, okay? But I'm gonna be the only one up. I gotta make myself go to sleep. With all the exhibits and everything. They got some shit transcribed with Judge Roach. Wait, who is Russell Wilson? Oh, okay, he was the lead counsel.
Mm-hmm. He's the new lead counsel. Mm. Mm. Yes, indeed, baby. And we gonna go on down through there. Show the fuck is. Because my brain work like it do, leash. I'm gonna be in this bitch trying to set the live up tonight. Trying to make sure that everything is ready to go. Because I'm so excited. And I just can't hide it. I want you to know that I have not read any of them. I have not read any of them. Other than what I was reading on them screenshots. Girl, and for me to get this today after I went screenshot searching and dumping and stealing and putting them bitches together for y'all so they can look whole. Oh, well. We got it now. Acts of your heart's desires from a good and clean heart, and ye shall have them. Okay? Because we got them. I just think that it is crazy that Jerry Lynn still ain't processed. But nonetheless, I got to keep checking Dallas County Court Portal. I just have to. Because the fact that they got this man listed as a unindicted co-conspirator who conspired to pay for the assassination of Melvin, he got 35 years. What is it? Seizure, forfeiture. Okay, we already seen it. That was from January. It's closed. That's closed. Still not processed. Y'all, how in the fuck? Maybe we should make some phone calls tomorrow and ask. You think they'll tell us? Hell no, probably not. But I think it was reckless of them to put out this document stating that, like factually, that he paid to have 3 taken out of the game. And then, you know, to come back and be like, never mind, is weird to me. That's weird to me. It's super weird to me. But baby, don't have me fighting with the rental car people again, trying to give me a fucking rental car to be my ass in there for a hearing on the 16th. I think I'm curious to see if Toby is going to fight for for this man like he fought for Amber or like he fought for Carmelo. I would love to see this Defense Exhibit 3, the law enforcement PDF file entitled 9/25/2018 Roy Lee shot. That'll be interesting. Like, they always hollering about a movie, right? Hold on, y'all. Let me drop this on the wall for my members as promised before I nod off. I told y'all I was gonna drop these documents for y'all. I don't know if it's, let me see how it's gonna do. Did it take you back to the court portal or did it actually give you the document? I don't know, y'all. Maybe I have to email it to y'all if y'all want me to. But then y'all know how to go get it from the court portal y'all selves. I'm just trying to give it to y'all. Oh no, it actually took you to it. Okay, cool. Cool. Now let me delete that because it's supposed to be for members only. Ha. Oh shit. Channel members. Paste. There's that document. Let me give y'all the other documents from the drop. And I'm just gonna make one post and put the other links in the chat. Okay. And the other ones are subpoenas for law enforcement officers, but I already told y'all previously that they were going to have to do that because a lot of those subpoenas were due to expire before the trial. Also, please note that I did only drop 3 documents instead of 4 because I dropped the amended motion to seal, which was the updated one. I did not drop the original motion to seal because they amended it with a new date, okay? So I just gave y'all the relevant one, okay? The organizer of the recall effort is now accused of shooting a man in the head. What? And received a $100,000 bond. She was a volunteer. Now look how the AG just be. Ugh. Jesus. Should I go back into politics? That's the question. Should I go back into politics? I just don't know though, y'all. I ain't trying to. I'm quite sure I'm already on somebody's watch list. Um, and I know I'm at wit's end. That's the thing. That's the thing. Is I'm over politics. Um, APD arrests 2 suspects in a homicide investigation of no, they found him and he was dead. Oh wow, Jackie baby, my heart go out to you. Damn. The newspaper trial. No, we still can go over them. I just had the Baldhead Hope Parent Club Association weekend this weekend. Yeah, so I was off my pivot. And then as soon as I got ready to get back on my pivot, my niece called something out. Can they come over here? Go. So there's that. You know? Husband, I think he'll be back home this weekend too. Hey, Jazz. Jazz, girl. What you think about them naming Trap Boy Friday as somebody who paid to get 3 up out of here? What? What active scene out here? Baby, I don't be knowing. I'm not lying. Girl, I'm not lying. You remember, Jazz, I just dropped the documents. I did not. Jazz, I just did part 2. I literally just finished reading. Oh, no, see, I wasn't lying. I was loaded. See, that's a different L word. That's a different L word, Jazz. I was loaded and I thought that's what happened. Fuck. Come to find out that ain't happened. Bertrand ain't called me, girl. I was loaded. Fuck. I thought that's what happened. I must was hallucinating or something. I don't know. I don't know. But right now you don't have to believe me. I dropped the Dinky, what the fuck? Baby, this is why I don't go on Facebook right now. This is why I don't go on Facebook right now. Dinky, what the fuck? Come on, man. Y'all, this is why I don't go on Facebook. Oh, so what was first? So first things first, okay? Yellow Beezy done turned in defense exhibit number 3, which contains evidence from law enforcement. One of the PDF files on the flash drive he turned in is a file from a police entitled 9/25/2018 Roy Lee shot, I think is what it said. So there's that. Again, they also on my son's soul. Girl, for real, you hear me? On my son's soul, they are now saying Trap Boy Freddy is a co-conspirator who conspired with Yella Beezy and the other indicted people to pay to have Mo 3 killed. That's what this that's what the state say. The state say that they have, the court is making them come to a meeting about these documents on the 16th, where the state intends to admit into evidence 7 records from law enforcement that they are requesting stay sealed because they pertain to several open criminal investigations. Baby, I don't know. Listen. Oh, and remember the Frisco situation? Remember that live when 3 thought Yella... Hell, everybody thought Yella called the police on 3. Well, girl, come to find out, the police called the fucking promoters on Yella and 3. They say an ATF detective called the promoter and said, you know you can't have both of them on the same ticket in the same place at the same time, right? They say that the police report from Houston, when 3 got shot at V Live right before he got killed, they say that there was CME members. Okay? That's what they say in these documents. Apparently Yella Beezy had text Jerry Lynn Johnson the day Mo 3 died 2 unreleased songs called Take 3 and something else. And baby, he done turned me into the police, okay? He done turned them motherfucking text messages over. Or they got them, I don't know. Yeah, girl. Yeah, girl. Now shit, we done went over it. All you gotta do is watch the replay. And then you a member. So I just put all them documents on a members only post. Yes, girl. Jazz. Girl, this some shit. So I just checked again in the Dallas County court portal. Trap Boy Fred ain't motherfucking arrested. He ain't indicted. So I'm so confused how they got this 84-page document and they got Trap Boy Freddy listed as a co-conspirator to this murder. I don't understand that. Like, they speaking factually, but he ain't indicted or arrested. I don't understand that. But somebody been telling. So at this hearing on the 16th, the state gonna do the 7 law enforcement records and the transcripts from the grand jury. Okay? Baby, I don't know where my first cousin on my dad's side is, but he need to pop out. He need to pop out. Maybe he can't now. You know? I don't know. Let me go look. Let me go look and see what Yella got to say. Because to see him on Twitter be the funny... Well, wait a minute. I don't want to see nobody getting no head, baby. Let me search him. They won't realize how big of an actual part you play until you not playing it no more. He said he was acting light-skinned, baby. Yellow, you better quit doing it. You know the niggas in the jailhouse got cell phones, my God. Maybe he telling. Trap out working. That's how he got out so fast. I just think it's crazy. I got people that love me because I'm me, and I got people that hate me for the same reason. Can't please everybody. I'm so weak. I supposed to be mad. Soon as the motherfucker scoop they booty on it, we end up punching. The more realer you are, the more the problem you become. He say, put me in a room full of humble elites before you put me in the same space as the loud and boastful any day. Well, damn, Yellow, why you don't want to just be with the... That's what he say. He say that on Twitter, baby. He got a video showing his little lips, big old lips. Boy, you better stop that and you on your way to TDC, Jay. A super nosy motherfucker makes me nervous. I should, because I'm super nosy. Marquise, DeAndre, GRC, Big Crip, Conway. Okay, because Jazz, that's another thing they said too. Say he a big GRC Crip. Okay. He say he love getting the last laugh. Y'all think Yellow finna laugh his way out of this? He say he been loyal so motherfucking much it turned into a flaw. Well, baby, Marquise DeAndre, Big Crip, Big GRC. Baby, listen, they finna fry your ass. All of them going to jail, girl, yeah. And then on this last motherfucking page, though, Jazz, that's the killing part. The last page of that... No, that's Carmelo Anthony shit. What are they eliminated? The last page of that shit, though, Jazz. Baby, they had they exhibit. Here you go. Damn, come on, don't do that. Well, fuck me and feed me fish. Hell, I might have to go pull the link off YouTube. Look at the exhibits, Jazz. They got exhibit descriptions, girl, on the last page. You should look at that. That's pretty interesting. Show is good. So tomorrow, I ain't gonna do it tonight, but tomorrow, oh girl, Roy Lee, he all up and through here. It ain't no one thing they said about Roy Lee. They said everything about Roy Lee. Okay? Jazz, you just gonna have to rewind it. And the Roy Lee part started on part 2 on this live. I'm finna get the fuck off of here so you can rewind it. I'm gonna get off of here so you can rewind it, because I'm gonna take my medication and go my black ass to bed. I'm gonna get up in the morning, and maybe these children's parents would have decided that it's time for them to come home, because I need to work. And like I said, we did reach our goal from earlier, even though we reached it after we got off the live. I'm not going to be, I ain't gonna act like that. So we still gonna give away them 5 memberships when we start tomorrow. Okay? All right, bye y'all. Good night.